Oh.
All righty, friends, welcome on in. The train whistle means it's time to start, I think. Laugh to whoever that was. Hey, welcome everybody into the Shaved Ice Roundtable. We did this a couple of months ago. I think it was in November when we did this last time. Of all the different classes and trainings and things we've done through the group, this has by far been my favorite. The Shaved Ice community is my people. I love being around you guys. We have a Shaved Ice business. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, a little bit here and there. But this today will be just an opportunity for all of us to connect. I have a bit of an agenda for us, a little bit more formal than last time, but ultimately we want a lot of time for us to kind of talk about what's going on, what's happening. If you have questions or need help with something specific, then that's what we're going to be here for. Again, by way of introduction, my name is Scott Morrison. I own in Orlando, Florida. We have a shaved ice business called Snowmo's Shaved Ice. We've been at it for, about 4 years or so now. I also created the food truck shop marketing Facebook group that most of you are hopefully a part of now. In there, we do trainings on a regular basis and a whole bunch of different things to help not only shaved ice businesses, but food truckers as well. This is my wife, Sherry, coming in. Sherry is the true brains behind starting Snowmo's, and she's really kind of the one who spearheaded us. Let's get it started. Let's make it happen. So she joins us in these classes, and so we'll I'm sure she'll have some input and things to talk about here as well. Okay. So as we're getting started, if you could put in the chat, let us know where you're from. It looks like a couple of you are doing that already, so happy to see that, where you're from. And then let me show you a little bit of an agenda, kind of we're going to go through, and then just what we can expect the rest of today to be like and how long we'll be here. So we're going to go in a second. I'll put on the screen here some poll questions. So these are just kind of get to know you questions, some things for us to find out where we're at with our businesses or what's happening, and just, have a few laughs in the middle of that as well. I got a couple stats for you about shaved ice businesses from you guys, from those who registered to attend this. And also have in there a kind of a state of the union about the group, where we're at, different things that we're doing with the group. They'll go through the poll results. And then after that, the bulk of the time today will be really answering a number of questions. A lot of you submitted questions to me. We're going to go through some of those. If you have something you want to talk about, we'll do that. We'll have conversation. There's a lot of us in this here right now, so we'll need to be a bit brief and allow for space for everyone to talk about or ask what they have to talk about. I don't have a hard deadline necessarily. I figured this will probably be an hour to maybe an hour and a half. If you want to stick around longer, I can stay. If you have something to do, I understand that as well. At the end, though, for those who are willing to stick around, I have a new program that we'll be launching here in a little bit, and I just have a quick demo of it. This isn't a sales pitch; it's truly a place for feedback. I want to really understand our community, our needs, things that we need help with. And so if you're willing to stick around, I would genuinely appreciate some feedback on something towards the end, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. So with that, the first thing I'll ask you guys to do is please, again, put in the chat, and I see we'll go through where people are from here in a second, but please put in the chat, what is the number one thing you hope to accomplish from today? Why are you here? What do you want to have happen? What do you want to get out of this? And I asked that here in the beginning, so hopefully we can help steer some of the conversations around things going to be beneficial to you, things that will help you out as well. So just as you guys are doing that, where everyone's from, we have Brian from the southwest suburbs of Chicago. Sherry and I both grew up in Chicago. Sherry grew up in the north side. I grew up in Addison, right by O'Hare. Welcome. Christina from the center of Missouri. Deep, and my friend from India, is good to see you. I'm glad you made it here with us today, even though a crazy time change, so welcome. Houston, Texas, we have the Central Valley of California, Traverse City, Michigan, Brandon, Mississippi, Daytona Beach, snowy time. You're not too far from us. We're in Orlando, so we're in Daytona every once in a great while, so cool to see you close by. Middle Tennessee, Liz from Reno. Liz, good to see you again. Rick is from Central Ohio. Daryl from Baltimore, Maryland. By the way, if you don't know, this was new to us when we started the shaved ice business. Shaved ice is really popular in Baltimore. They like egg custard with marshmallow. We didn't know that when we opened, but we had, because we're in Florida, most people aren't from Florida, but we had lots of customers asking for that right off the bat. So we quickly added to the menu, but who would have thought Baltimore, Maryland's a shaved ice hotbed, or snowball, I guess they call it there. So
thank you, Barry.
Yep. Jess from Iowa, good to see you. Matt from Northern California, but also near Kalamazoo. Oh, I see, but currently live near Kalamazoo, Michigan. Sorry about that. Jake from Portland, Louisiana. So a bunch of guys from all over the place. So welcome to everyone. I'm not going to go through all the specifics and read out loud the different reasons why you want to, what you're hoping to get out of here. We'll read it as we're going through here today. But I encourage you guys to kind of take a peek at that too. The point of why we're doing this is to really help all of us grow our businesses and to just to bring people together. Yeah, support one another. It can be lonely at times. At least I feel that way. I would imagine some of you feel the same way. Running a business and figuring out how you want to do a business. So I thought it'd be fun, and we'll do these from time to time, kind of a support group. But if there's specific things that you want, we'll do our best to go through a lot of these, and we'll answer some of these questions as we get going through. Sound like a deal? All right, poll questions. Let me figure out how to get poll questions up here on the screen. So these are through Zoom who we're doing. Okay, so we're going to launch this here in a second. These are get to know you poll questions, and I'll let you guys go through and start answering those. I can see on my screen who's answering them, but while you're doing that, I just want to kind of go through, share a couple stats with you, and answer a couple things. By the way, the poll questions, all of them except for maybe one or two, there's only one choice you can answer. The rest, the one or two are multiple choice. But Phil, this is anonymous. This is for fun. This isn't. This is really, I want to see you guys later on, and we're going to share what some of these questions are, the answers are, so you guys can kind of get a sense where everybody's at with their businesses, and hopefully feel like you're not quite as long. Yep, we have. It's not going through.
Are you guys able to answer them?
Yep, you guys seen the poll questions on your screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so go ahead, and you guys just go ahead and start answering those.
Perfect.
All righty. So as you're doing, there we go, some coming in now. So as we're doing that, so when you registered to attend this, we asked you a handful of questions, again, just to kind of get a sense for where everybody's business is at. So I want to share just a few stats with this of the group. So how many years have you been in business? We have a lot of newcomers to the shaved ice or food truck type world. Roughly 80% of you have been in business for less than 5 years. 28% said you're brand new and this is your first year and you're just getting going, you're just getting your business started. So welcome, especially to you. And then those of you who are new in the 1 or 2 to 5 year mark, a lot of people are there. Not a ton have made it past the 5 years. Less than 20% have been over 5 years. I find that's a bit cyclical with the business, but there are a handful who've been in for a few decades. Someone I talked to, I think the last conversation we had been in for over 30 plus years of the business. So it's certainly something you can have longevity in. It's not one that you have to be in and out quickly, but a lot of us are new. Ourselves, we've been in for less than 5 years. In the shaved ice part of the world, we have entrepreneurial business backgrounds, but on the shaved ice side of things, it's been for less than 5 years. And the other stat I'll show you is sales revenue. Where is everyone at? So again, some of this is reflective because we have brand new business owners in there, but 32% had less than 10,000 they made in a year. 25% have 10 to 25,000. So more than half have made less than 25,000 in a given year. But then the top end of that, there are, the 8% have made $250,000 in 2021 sales revenue, and 6% $250,000 to $500,000 in revenue. So again, there's kind of a fluctuation there, but don't think just because you're at a certain level that it has to be that way, or you're in that, or you're only there. You can grow, it can fluctuate, and can change. And a lot of why we do this, and a lot of why we have the group, is to help us all push our businesses a little bit forward and a little bit higher than that. So. All right, a couple more things, and I promise I'll stop talking here soon. Quick stating, and she gets sick of hearing me talk all the time.
He's long-winded.
Yeah, I'm long-winded. All right, quick state of the union, Sweet Profits. Sweet Profits is the name of what we originally called the group. And what it's really for, it's this Facebook group. We launched it a little over a year ago. It's a community and education center. We're growing quite a bit. Excuse me, 3,600 plus members are in there now. And our top states are from Texas and Florida, tons from Texas, like a very high percentage from Texas. So if you're from Texas, your kinfolk are here with you as well. We're also celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Shaved Ice Academy. It's a program that we created. It's what we had wished was there when we got started with the business. It walks you through 37 different lessons about how to get started, how to run, how to grow, how to build. It's really for anybody who's in the business for, say, less than 3 or 5 years. Especially for those who are getting started. So we're the 1-year anniversary of the Shaved Ice Academy right about now, actually. We also just launched the Food Truckers Instagram account. This is the only thing I'm going to pitch you guys on today. Please go follow this account if you want to have a good laugh at our industry. We have some funny things on there and some silly things that I post from time to time. But if you want to laugh a little bit about the food truck world, then go ahead and follow that. It's just at Food Truckers, no E in the end there, on Instagram. We put links on different places as well, but please take a second, go follow that. And then what's coming next with the group? We're about to rebrand the name of it from Sweet Profits to, should I tell them the name?
I don't care.
Okay, to Food and Ice. We're going to change everything to Food and
and
Ice. We'll have regular weekly classes coming up, a shaved ice specific one, as well as a food truck or shop marketing one. But then also a membership platform that's going to be focused on marketing. That's what I'll talk to you about at the end if you want to see a demo of that. That's kind of the big thing that we've been quietly working on behind the scenes. So this is the membership. We'll talk through that a little later on. Okay, that's it, guys. That's let's go through some poll results. Last call on that. Looks like 75% of you responded to the poll. If you want to take another moment or two, go ahead and put in the poll. And then you want to go through some of the results, or?
Let's do it.
All right, so let's end the poll here, guys. And here's the results. Share the results. All right, can you guys see the results on your screen now?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
So largely by yourself, you are meaning you run everything.
Yep,
on your
exactly.
own. You don't have employees.
Right.
So 86% of you are saying that you run it mostly on your own. I'm actually surprised by that.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by
I
that
don't
too.
know how
Mhm.
people do that all on their own. What do you struggle with most? Marketing, 32%, costs 18, employees 7, getting started 39. I think that must be because we have a bunch of
A lot
newbies.
of newbies.
Find events location 4%. Okay.
Okay.
What's your business like?
This is the one you got multiple answers on that.
Yeah. Okay. So we have 75% is a truck / trailer, 18% brick and mortar, 11% have a drive-through. I'm envious. I wish we had one. Large events, festivals, marketing, concert, 14. Small events, parties, weddings, corporate catering, 21%. Okay. Okay. So then here we're getting a little bit different. So how many employees do you typically have? Just me, 43% of you. It's almost half. 1 to 5 employees, 46%.
So most, like about 90% have less than 5 employees.
Yeah, 6 to 10, 7%, 11 to 20. Probably if you get more than one, truck, you need, obviously, as we do, we know you need more than that. What is it? Shaved ice. This is a funny one. Shaved ice, 54, shave ice, 32. Well, if we had a lot of Hawaii people in here, it would be skewed. So 54% shaved ice. That's what we call it. What kind of ice do you use? Okay. 64% block, 36% cube.
That's interesting.
Do you enjoy the business? Yes,
Oh, good.
absolutely. 80. I'm happy to see 86%.
Remember, I said
says-
last time, there was a handful who were
Yes.
ready to burn it to the ground.
That's right. I think you asked
Yeah.
burn it to the ground. Most days tolerate it, hate it. All right. Well, that's good.
That's very cool.
Yes. Biggest motivation is income. Primary source. Okay. What's your biggest motivation? Primary source of income, 43. Secondary source. Okay. So secondary is coming in as the side hustle, 50%. And then be an example to someone else, 7%. Okay.
I'm interested. My guess is probably kids or family or someone else. That's part of why we started. is
Ours
to-
was
for our
because
kids.
of that.
Mhm.
It was never meant to be what it's grown into at all. Have you had a food business before starting this one? So 79% said no, 21% said yes. Okay. Have you worked in a food business before starting this? 54%. So half of you, pretty much a little over half, said yes. All right.
That's
So that's
interesting.
very interesting.
So if you guys would like, after this, I can send out the results if you're interested in seeing some of that. I thought I always like seeing where everybody's at and kind of what's happening inside of the businesses here. So, all right, well, let's just,
Do they have questions they sent in?
yeah, we have a number of questions that people have sent in. I have a lot of questions we're going to go through. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can actually see all of you guys here now. All right, 38 of you in, so very cool. So I think probably the best way to do this is, put out a couple questions and things in there. We'll ask a few questions. And if you have something you'd like to answer,
Opinions.
I'm sorry.
I said if they want opinions
Yeah,
of others,
opinions or
this
things like
is a
that.
great-
Like, again, this isn't just for us to sit and talk. This is just an opportunity for everybody to do it. We'll kind of steer the conversation, but I'll put a question out if you have something you want to answer on that or an opinion on it. For now, we'll just go ahead and unmute yourself and say it, but please be respectful of everyone around you. Be careful of background noise. If that becomes kind of a pain, then we'll just have everyone stay on mute and then raise your hand. We'll change it from there. But like the first question I went through, I guess just kind of a basic introduction question is what's working for you in the business right now? Maybe not, some of you may be a little bit quieter because of the season is it's the cooler season, but overall, what's working for you? What's working well in your business? What do you like about it? What's happening well? Who has some comments on that?
Our kids counting employees, yes.
Yep. Nothing's working, right?
I guess everyone's happy.
Well, for me,
Hey, John,
it will be my drive-through.
it was your drive-through, you said?
Drive-through.
Ugh.
John, why don't
No,
you say who what your business is and a little bit about it. I think people will be interested in hearing about this.
Yeah, it's John Dolan. I have Chillin' on the Res. We opened up not this past September before in 20, right in the middle of COVID. Took over an old Brewster's ice cream building, and we have 2 walk-up windows and a drive-through, and we sell New Orleans style snowballs and homemade ice cream.
Yep. They're doing great. They're a good social media follow too, because they're constantly posting pictures and reels and stuff that are going on. So I know we talked before, the drive-through is kind of like the secret
envious.
sauce to you, right?
Yeah, it runs about 70% of my business right now.
Cool. Brian asked what's the Instagram? It says Chillin' on the Res, CHILLIN on the, and then Res is REZ. So that's their good one there. Cool. What else is working, guys? What else has been good for you? Maybe as you finish up the last summer, last spring, what was working great for you?
Did anyone have any interesting marketing pieces that worked really well? We've talked about how we're going to probably do a postcard for the immediate areas right around where our is located, right when we like launch in the spring again, even though we're open year round. Has anyone had experience with that or any other creative marketing pieces? You guys are a quiet bunch today. Whoa, everybody's scared?
I don't know when to jump in.
Okay.
Go ahead,
So
Jake.
it's but okay, so I do a monthly market. It's once a month, and they've done flyers, and they don't really produce results for us here in Oregon. I can't say all of Oregon, but at least the market that I was at. We get more people that just drive by and see all the tents set up, and then they'll stop.
Mhm.
But the flyers and the mailers and stuff don't bring people out.
Okay.
Got it.
That's good to know. Did anyone see that TikTok video that showed someone using, I think it was styrofoam and made a giant shaved ice out of it? Did you guys see that? There's a TikTok one that's going around and they use like a bucket and then, you know, the styrofoam that you use to insulate, and they made a giant shaved ice as their, I don't know, their marketing piece out front. And I was telling Scott, maybe we should try.
Get people to stop.
Maybe we should try and make that. I just wondered if anyone else saw that or did that. Oh,
That's cool.
I'm the only one.
Jake, what kind of setup do you have?
In one-
Are you in the one spot or are you moving around?
No, I'm mobile. I've done pop-up for 20 years. I do food, and I started doing shave ice about 10 years ago, and it does about 50% of my income. I quit my corporate job last April, and I've been doing this full time.
Very cool. I think that's everyone's dream to, if they don't have to work full time somewhere else, they can come do this. See a few smiles in there. Cool. Christina, you mentioned in the chat that you post weekly flavors of the week. Tell us about that. Tell us a little bit about your setup and what you're doing, if you don't mind unmuting yourself and sharing that. You still with us, Christina? Oh, you can't unmute. I wonder if I can unmute you. Okay, that's fine. No worries. That's okay if you can't do it. We're sorry to hear that. So, and Rose, you asked as well, your thoughts on doing direct mail. You're considering doing that. So that's kind of what Jake was talking about, the postcard. We've seen that work really, really well in other industries. We haven't tried it for our shop, frankly. So I don't have a specific case study of how well it would work. I think there's a reason why other shops and restaurants do it. So that's something we're going to be testing heavily over the next couple of months. And I'll be sure to kind of share some of the results and feedback and things that work. So I guess along those lines of marketing and all that, what has worked for everyone? What are you doing well that's attracting customers your way? What has been successful for you?
The party packs.
Party packs were good. Yeah.
Oh, someone, Mark saying he doesn't have it, but okay. How'd the party packs go, Mark? Tell us more about that. Did you just use styrofoam coolers? Where's Mark at?
I'm not sure.
I think he just walked away.
Yeah, maybe he did. Dang it. Okay.
He wrote that and walked away. The heck? I wanted to hear more about that.
Can you hear me? I don't know how to make myself.
Yes.
Yep.
We hear you.
Go right ahead.
Okay. This was my first season. This last year was my first season, and I live in a very, very small area. But I did loyalty cards, and I had them printed up. Of course, I'm not very creative, so I went through Etsy and had someone do that.
Perfect.
And it was if you purchase 6, any size or whatever, then you get then after your 6th punch, then you get a free small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it worked really well for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do that too. We use Vistaprint, just a business card
Mhm.
that well,
We
we've
created one, yeah.
various different ones we've had, but yeah, I think ours is 10.
Mhm.
Ours is 10 and you get a small as well. So yeah, that has worked really well for us as well.
So I saw something cool that we stopped in a shop in Cocoa Beach, Florida, which is on the coast of Florida, along the lines of this. And it was a shaved ice shop. And she had behind the counter just like these plastic bins, probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them, full of these cards for her customers. And she kept all of her customers' cards on file. And I thought I saw somebody else, I can't remember who it was, that did a video or Instagram post about that too. But they kept the card there. I thought it was kind of a cool idea because they can keep it on file for the customers that come back in. Personally, I like to give it to the customer so it's in their purse or their wallet or their pocket or something like that as a reminder to have them come back to the shop as well. So
Yeah.
excellent idea with that.
What are the programs you have a loyalty card? But we've debated on that because I know a bunch of the different services like Square, you can do a loyalty program type thing on there.
Mhm.
But the fact of the matter is we've never implemented that because there is something to be said about having it in the wallet. They're always in their wallet. They're touching it. They're seeing it. If you just go to the computer, that you're not in their face. And so we've always said we're staying old school. I know sometimes you can complicate things with too much technology.
Mhm.
That one, I feel like we're staying there.
Yep, absolutely. That's good. Anything else that's worked good?
I really want to know.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I really want to know about these party packs. Did our friend ever get to unmute
Yeah, well,
herself?
Mark,
We did try.
we played it, but Mark, I see you're back here now.
Is Mark back?
Mark, I'm sorry, I can't see your last name. Are you able to unmute yourself and talk about your
Styrofoam.
party packs a little bit you did? The Styrofoam coolers?
Mark.
He's got his info in the chat.
Yeah, he's in the chat. I was gonna let him try to talk.
Maybe
but-
he can't. Maybe he's at work and he can't because this is a side hustle. He can't talk.
Yeah, maybe not.
That's what happens.
So he did a
I'm
Styrofoam
here,
coolers.
no mic or video. Oh, darn it, Mark.
Okay, so
Okay.
Styrofoam coolers. Tell you what we've seen work, and if anyone else has done these, please feel free to chime in as well. Buy a Styrofoam cooler. You can usually get them at a gas station.
Ask Mark what if you can hear us. Where are you getting your coolers from,
Yep.
and what size are they? Okay.
And then fill that with your ice, your snow, like shave the ice or whatever you're using, put the ice into there. Works great if you have like a Southern Snow or Snow Wizard machine, it shoots it in nice. We use Swan machines and we dump it in. That worked well too. And then have usually 3 flavors or so, little squirt bottles that you fill with your flavors in there. And then cups and spoons, maybe a napkin or straw, what else you're doing. And you can sell that as a whole party kit. One of our students, Hey Sugar in Texas, they're all over their social media. They post that a lot. So it's a good way. Like somebody asked earlier about on one of the emails about doing small parties and so forth. We find that works best for doing smaller parties. Doesn't make sense for us to do an event that only has say 10 kids at it or 15 kids at it or something like that. But you can sell that party pack and you can do that. And has anyone else done that? I guess raise your hand or comment if you've done anything else similar to that.
Oh,
Yep.
chilling on the reds.
John's done it as well. Cool. Sorry, somebody I can't see your names in there too.
I have. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear
we
you
hear
now.
you.
Yep. Tell us
Okay,
about it.
I didn't know when to speak. I kept looking for a raise your hand icon down here. But I'm in Phoenix. I just closed my storefront. I've had my mobile unit now since 2014, so 8-9 years, and it's been great. And it's totally supported my storefront for the past 3 years.
Mhm.
So I chose not to renew my lease, and so now I even quit my job of 30 years at Southwest Airlines. My last day was 2 weeks ago. So it's all or nothing right now with my shaved ice truck, and
Cool.
I love it. I've never felt so happy. So,
That's
but in my storefront, we did snow to go, which was, we used a bait bucket. I don't know if you know what those are,
Mhm.
but if you Google bait bucket, It happened to have fish on the side, which was super cool.
Oh yeah.
And
that'd
it
be
had a
cool.
lid and it had a cool little handle. And we did that for snow to goes, and that included like 2 small squirt bottles of syrup. And then we did I'm with Tropical Snow, so we have spill stoppers. I don't know if you know what that is, but for those we used flour cups. And we just gave them flour cups and color changing spoons. And we charged like $40. It served about 15. But that's what we did in our store. We also did snowballs. I don't know if anyone else does that, but that was a huge hit for parties. And for those, we would just put them in our own little white buckets that we make our block ice in, and we would just fill them up, and we'd make them about the size of a softball. And then the day before, my customers, I live in Phoenix, but my customers were all real local. We had a lot of loyal people, but unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to support the store. But they were all real local, so they would bring in their huge coolers the day before, and we would fill it up the morning of, and then they'd come pick it up.
Oh, very cool. So
we did
they bring a
that.
cooler, you'd
Yeah,
fill it. Did you make the snowballs for them as well?
Yeah, it would take a long time. Like we sold them in increments of 100 or 50. So
Yeah.
we would go in that morning and we'd make them all and have them ready, and then we'd load them in the cooler right before they came.
So
What
that's
would you charge for that?
For the snowballs, we charged for, was it 50 of them? I think it was 50. We would charge $40. Was it 50? Maybe it was 60 for $40. Yeah, but that was a huge hit. They loved it for birthday parties. They loved it. And they would send me pictures of their parties and stuff.
And I think that's a creative way for in the winter or cooler seasons to still make some revenue, still kind of stay in business. That's another product line you could do, or have like a community event or something like that around the snowball. So especially like Phoenix or like here we are in Florida, nobody ever sees snow. So having something like that could be something fun.
You need to market to your local realtors, because I did that. We didn't sell that at our thing. We were kind of experimenting, but since I'm a real estate agent, at Christmas, my clients who had kids, I did deliver a little cooler, and we got one of those snowball like makers, like molds. And I filled a whole cooler and dropped them off on Christmas Eve for like snowball fight with their families, and they all loved them. But you can market yourself to the realtors in your area at Christmas time.
Absolutely.
That's a great idea. Yeah, with my truck, we stay pretty busy all year round. I'm sure you do in Florida as well. And I love it. It's the best job ever.
That's good, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's cool. So a couple more comments on the party packs. Mark mentioned, I'll just read this because I know there's some questions on it. He sells his party packs for $65 for the party pack. You shave the ice into a cooler, 3 to 5 flavors, and then the same thing, cups, napkins, spoons. Get those at the dollar store. That's a really great additional revenue stream you can add onto your business. There is I guess now we have snowballs and party packs.
Snowballs more, include a snowball kit.
Yep. So let's bring up, because topic I've seen in the chat a couple times.
Let's talk about increasing.
Yeah, food costs.
of
Same exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I guess this is kind of a State of the Union thing. Like what's everyone seeing food cost wise? I know a lot of the other businesses I work with that have more expensive food costs than shaved ice stands or trailers do. They're dying right now. Meats and oils and vegetables and stuff like that. But I guess where's everyone at? What are you seeing? What's happening over there? Christina mentioned in the chat, I don't think she can unmute herself, that she's increasing her cost by 50 cents because of that. Daryl, who's the GM of Cold Kiss Snowball Supplies, said their product has gone crazy too. The cost of products gone crazy. So I guess where are people at? What's happening right now? Is anyone else feeling that too?
I haven't noticed much difference.
Okay.
Do.
We definitely have cup prices.
We
about sugar.
What was
we
that?
are
Dan?
seeing we're seeing in prices of cups and things like that. So we are buying in bulk as much as we can and putting it in climate control storage.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm out of Baltimore, Cold Kiss Syrups.
Hey, Daryl.
Sorry about the echo. Product has been going from fructose to sugar to flavoring, pretty much everything, especially like citrus acid, sodium benzoate. All the chemical costs have gone crazy. Some of the chemical costs have gone 50%, 60% higher. So if
Oh,
they
wow.
haven't hit you yet, they are going to hit you.
In the
Mhm.
So I
summer.
would consider looking down the road for cost increase.
That's
Absolutely.
good to know because everyone's gonna start probably redoing their signs for the summer. So you need to be thinking ahead or else you're gonna be behind.
Yeah.
So what he's saying is good to know now because you need to think ahead.
Yeah, that's why I said we are, we're buying in bulk and
Mhm.
putting in a climate control storage. We ran into our Sam's within a 100-mile radius were totally out of cups in
Mhm.
We
16 and
had
20.
that too.
Yep.
Yep.
So I filled up a 10 by 10 storage unit with supplies.
That's where all the cups are, in the storage unit.
Yeah. No, I think that's gonna be an increasing problem for all of us as we go forward, because it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. And so it's on a rotation for us on like what is hard to find. And so Scott's like stockpiling as well, like what you're saying, different things too. It's not always the same. It's like whipped cream one week and we're like,
Yeah.
what the heck? Whipped cream's a little harder to stockpile. Okay. You can't, like, it goes bad. It's not like cups. So we're like, oh my gosh. And so we're like scrambling to find it. Like, we know there's a couple locations, but one
Mhm.
has a better price than other. And then you're finding yourself, Scott's running to like all over the place because he has to keep changing because the price keeps changing or he can't find it. So
The other issue we ran into a bunch last year, and I'm going to guess it's going to be the same this year, is getting your flavors. One of our vendors just would out of the blue drop a flavor, and it like one of our most popular items is butterbeer, and butterscotch is the most important ingredient in that. And they just out of the blue stopped carrying it, and it's not like you could go to another vendor, but it was a particular taste that we wanted. So I recommend with that too, bulk up on those as well, get in front of that. Also, if you're used to just ordering, say, every month or so and expecting that they'll have it in stock, there's a good chance that's not going to be the case in the coming year. So you might want to get in front of that a little bit.
or just to lock in your price, it sounds like.
Yep, exactly. The prices will probably going to go up.
Yeah.
Andre in the chat, he has a good point here too. He says we just redid their board, so their menu, and they left prices off so they can adjust that as needed. That's smart. When it comes to raising prices, there's often some apprehension or you're a little afraid to do that. You think you might lose customers over it. Don't worry about that. I've seen in tons of different industries I've been around. When you raise prices, you lose a very small percentage of it perhaps, but you'll make up for it by the additional costs. And I think people are kind of expecting that and used to that and are okay with it now. Obviously, don't go crazy with it, but I think a marginal or an appropriate price increase is smart. Figure out your food costs, figure out how much it's really costing you to sell 1 cup of ice and your product, and then adjust your prices appropriately from there. But don't panic, don't freak out if you need to raise prices. It is something that I think you might be able to do.
Where do you get
So,
your menu boards?
Anything else like on the food cost side? Is anybody seeing increase on sugar? Because I haven't seen that much yet. Is that something you're seeing anywhere else?
I have here in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah. Quan, is that so? You're seeing the price of sugar going up?
Yeah, it hadn't gone up much, maybe like 50 cents or so, but I see it going up.
Mm-hmm.
We also sell funnel cakes. So
Okay.
the cost of oil has
Yes.
drastically increased.
Yeah, oil's crazy right
I
now.
saw that. It's like it like went 3 times like in a year. It's ridiculous how much
Right.
the oil went up.
I remember when we first started, probably about 6 years ago, oil, I know we could get that big container from Sam's for probably about $17.
Mhm.
And now it's $39, $40.
Yeah. That's crazy
Wow, unreal.
for oil.
Yep. All right, guys. So be on the top of that. A couple of people in chat saying their food, their sugar cost is going up a little bit too. So I guess the lesson is bulk up, get ahead of it, and don't be afraid to raise your prices a little bit if you need to do that.
Well,
from
I
there.
mean, we were just not laughing, but we were talking about how all of you guys, if you have Dollar Tree, you know, they just changed theirs to $1.25. They're no longer $1. That's 25 cents. Like, that's a lot. It's not like they went up like 10 cents. They went up
25%.
25. That's a lot. So we were like, don't be afraid if you have to increase some, because that's, I don't know what they're going to do. Dollar spot, $1.20, $1.25. Oh, they have to redo their marketing.
So a couple questions we've had in the chat is about leasing land. Andre asked about this, and I saw one or two other ones in here about leasing land or leasing spots in a parking spot or parking lot for that. That's our business model. But who else has some experience with that, where they're leasing out a parking lot space, either in a gas station or a strip mall or something like that? And I guess tell us a little bit about how that's worked for you. Anyone else doing that?
I
I inquired about a spot that would be my first spot ever with Shave Ice. And the real estate agent, this is a big lot, so there's 4 stoplights. It's a very busy intersection. $1,500 a month, last month plus a deposit without electricity. So, and then a couple years back, this was at a parking lot, kind of a lot less known street. They wanted $250 for 3 spots, parking spots. So I'm going, why 1,500?
That 1,500
That
seems
seems high.
like a ton. Of Daniel put in the chat, he's paying 500 a month. I assume a similar setup. That's about what we pay as well. 1,500. I always look at it this way. You got to break it down by how many cups do you need to sell in order to recoup that 1,500. That's a good chunk of it there. I don't know about some of you guys, and please chime in if you do. I've had better luck going straight to the property or business owner instead of through property management or through a realtor. No offense to realtors, but typically I think going straight to the landowner, if you can do that, might be a little bit more beneficial to you. Who else is renting out a parking lot space like that?
Last year we were renting out a parking space, but our laws has changed this year. So now, because we're a mobile vendor, I mean, last year I stayed in one spot all year, and previous years the same. But this year, because I'm inside of a trailer, they consider it mobile vending. So I can only set up in that spot for 3 days, and then I have to move to a different spot. So now I went from paying $250 a month where we were to now I pay 10% of what I make each day.
Are you so are you going to put yourself on a route now? Because I know we have lots of other people who've then set up, when that's happened to them, they've gone and found like different locations and set up on a route so that people could get used to seeing them again. So they're not just
right.
Yeah. Is that what you did?
That's what we do now. We got 3 different places we set up, and normally sometimes we don't set up on those days. I normally post it on social media where we'll be, because some days we'll have birthday parties that we do or company events. But I try to keep people posted on where we're going to be each day, and kind of give them like pretty much every 2 weeks I put it out, because I know where we're going to be by then.
There's a hand in I think they're in Nashville. There's a company called Blue Monkey Shaved Ice. I think they have 3 trucks, and that's what they do. They go around there. So you can absolutely do a model like that, as long as, like, you're doing what you said, is stay in front of it a couple of weeks ahead of time. Let them know where you're going to be.
I met 2 other ladies that work for Blue Monkey. They were in Franklin, Tennessee, and I just decided to try them. I try everybody, and I ask people to try me as well.
Yep. Hey, Quan, Andre's asking, do you have a trailer or do you have a van?
No, I have a trailer. I have 2 trailers.
Okay.
2 trailers.
Yes, sir.
So how do you staff that or manage that? Because I talk to a lot of people, they're afraid to have someone else drive the other trailer or truck to set it up. So how does that work for you?
It's mainly me and it's mainly me. We only use the second trailer. If we got 2 events, I'll go to one event I'll get my brother. I mean, if that's the worst case scenario, and then my wife, she'll pull the other trailer. So I trust her a lot, with her skills in driving the truck and trailer. We have two 3,500 Chevy trucks, and we pull both trailers.
And this is what you guys doing full time, or do you have other work too?
No, it's starting to go full time now. I'm here I work for a company called NCR. I work on ATMs all day.
Mhm.
So I done put in my 2-month notice. So this is about it.
Yeah. 2-month notice, you said? It's very generous of you.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to. You know,
Okay.
I don't want to burn my bridges just in case, you know, if anything happens.
Yeah, that's good of you. Be smart about that.
So Casey asked the question here in the block. She was asking about 3-day with tens of thousands of people. Would this be worthwhile with 4 people working and only one? There's no way one block shaver is going to keep up with that. So as I'm reading this, you of course can do it as long as you have enough. There's no way one block shaver can keep up with that. You're going to need like 3 probably. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that. Of course, you can always do events as long as you have enough people to staff it and you have enough equipment to handle it, then you can of course do it. But yeah, you would definitely need more than one shaver for sure. There's no way that would accommodate that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Somebody just raised their hand. Is it Rudy? Just raise your hand. Did you have a question you want to ask him? Why don't you read that now?
Okay.
Can
I'm
you hear
currently
me?
getting ready to.
Read it yourself. Let him answer. Go ahead, Rudy. Go ahead. Yep.
All right, can you hear me?
Yep,
Yep.
we got you.
Okay. We're in New Orleans and we do several festivals here. And yes, you can do that with one shaver. We do that all the time with one shaver.
10,000 people?
Yeah. We have 5 employees working with us, 1 shaver, and 1 person doing the actual like ferrying of the ice. And we probably can knock out, I don't know, several hundred in just like 20 minutes.
Nice. What kind of shaver do you have?
Snow Wizard and a Southern Snow.
Okay, so both the side. Never mind.
Okay, so you have 2, but you have 2 of them. Like you can't do
No,
it with
I don't
one,
bring-
she's saying.
No. I don't bring 2 to the festival. I bring a backup machine in case something happens to the
That's
machine.
smart.
But we only use 1 machine at the festival.
That's cool.
And I've been doing that for 40 years.
Well, there you go.
Perfect.
I guess, it does depend on how well you're trained, because I can tell you
Well, their machines will be faster.
with
as well.
yeah. The Swan, because with the Swan, we're not having that. But then again, Scott and I, we are 100% snow snobs, and I don't like the snowing machine. I feel like it's too crunchy, but most people aren't
Right.
as snobby as we are. So
Right.
that's for a whole nother.
Right.
All right, cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks
Thank you
chipping
for
in on that.
answering.
Hey, I use snowy machines. I started off with a block shaver,
Yeah.
but the key to the snowy machine is to get that ice just as fine as the block shaver.
Yeah.
I get my ice like, with a block shaver, you want your ice to you want to temper the ice
Yeah.
before you use it so it don't bust up. But the thing is with the snow machine, with the cubes, don't
Yeah.
temper the ice. Get it to
Oh,
negative.
okay.
I make sure it's negative 36 degrees before I use it. The colder it is, the harder it is, and it makes it harder to shave it. So it makes it finer as it comes through. And we get a lot of pats on the back for that. Because it's
Awesome.
very, very.
See, that's why you need to know all the little tricks. This is why this is awesome.
Won't your blade get duller quicker with using the cold negative 30-degree ice?
Yeah, it does, but we keep a lot of backup blades just because. But it's easier to for us to get ice that way, cube ice, because we don't have where to make that makes block ice. We'll have to make it ourselves. So it's just, it just works out better that way.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Question.
Yes.
I don't know if this is the time to ask that, but I have a swan shaver, and it sounds like you guys might have swans as well. Have you found a place that can sharpen your blades without ordering a new blade?
Yeah, we've been using it at the local farmers market. There's a guy who does knife sharpening. We use that. We're gonna buy a knife sharpening kit this year and
Experiment. with
experiment.
that.
I'll probably have someone do it for us too, but we've sharpened it like that with no problem. And those blades will last a really long time if you're sharpening on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So what kind of sharpener do you use? Because I've taken it to a knife sharpening place where they do like lawnmower blades and stuff. And it was like super sharp for about 5 minutes, and then it just started being dull again. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
I don't know. He's an older retired man, and he has like the whole setup. So I don't even know.
Yeah, he walks through, like he'll do the stone and he'll get it wet, and then like the cloth on it too. He's got like a whole process he goes through.
Yeah. Like it's very
and
thorough.
they'll last for a while. We've tested a brand new blade compared to the sharpened one, and yeah, nothing's better than a brand new blade, but a sharp one will still get close to 2,000 cups on it before we have to get it sharpened again.
Oh, nice. Okay, because I have a whole drawer of dull blades, and I'm like, I refuse to throw them away.
No, use those because those aren't cheap. So you could get those sharpened and yeah, find I guess find somebody who's done it forever and that's their passion is maybe an old guy who loves doing that. So
you might want to try I know that this guy does like scissors, so you might want to call like someplace that does like material like a Michael's or Joanne and ask who they're getting their scissors sharpened through, because chances are it's an older like retiree like that, because they always have connections at some fabric store or something. That might be a good option.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Also, if you got a local barber or anything like that, they have a lot of people who sharpen their scissors as well.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that is good. We'll have to check into that too. Yeah, who knows?
So what's everyone's kind of mood or optimism going into in the coming year as far as the shaved ice season? I know the last couple of years, a lot of people I talked to, there's some fear around the pandemic and people staying out and whatever else going on that. Like, I know here we are in Florida, everybody's kind of go and do whatever you like, but what's it like for you? Jake, you raise your hand first. Go ahead and unmute yourself and let us know what your thoughts are on this.
You there?
Jake, you there?
Oh.
He's trying to
He's trying to unmute. There he is.
Yeah. So my business model has been go to where the people are, big festivals, and I haven't done a lot of smaller stuff until this last year. And I want to do more shave ice this 2022. And I'm considering building a wagon that I can take and do backyard birthday parties and family gatherings and corporate events and things like that. And I want to know if anybody's had experience doing that and what your results were, and if it's worth the time, or should I just stick with doing big shows?
I think it's worth the time. I mean, I don't mean to cut in if I did cut anybody.
No, go ahead.
But
you guys talk.
It's worth the time. It's worth the time. As long as it's not like 10 people or something like that. You got 20 people, 30 people. We do a lot of birthdays, but we also incorporate, like I said, our funnel cakes, deep fried Oreos, and we just come up with just different little things. It's called our business is called Webb's Carnival Treats. So we just bring all kind of carnival toys and games that we've created to make it an experience. And we actually got I know at least three families that have us come every year for their child's birthday party for the last 3 years. And I mean, I enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. And last year we kind of tapped into a new market of doing corporate parties. There are company parties and things like that, which is really great.
Corporate's a lot easier, more lucrative than smaller, at least in our experience, than smaller birthday parties. You might do a family birthday party and our minimum, we won't go anywhere for at least 300. And, for like a birthday party with a few kids, that may not be worth it, but a corporate event, no problem at all. That's at least been our experience.
Minimum is set at 300 also.
Right.
Yeah.
And also take a lot of pictures. Pictures, videos, things of that nature. Bring somebody extra with you. So then on your social media, you just post your videos, post pictures. That's what really helped us a lot. And then just word of mouth. We do a lot of Boys and Girls Club events where we just give out shaved ice to 80 to 100 kids. And we do that 3 times a year. And just because, I mean, you give more, you get more. The more you give, the more you get. So.
Agreed.
I have a question about this party. It's the $300 that you charge. Like I charge $200. That includes up to 50 cones. Do you include cones in that $300? I mean, how many cones I should say do you include in that?
Yeah, I've got it penciled out. I would do 60 cones.
For 300, and you don't have any problem doing that because I do a lot of corporate too, and I still charge 200 an hour. And I do a lot of big ones like American Airlines. That's my biggest corporate client. I'm on the tarmac at least 4 times a year and just serving their employees. So we'll do like 700 cones in a day. I do a lot of corporate too, but I'm still doing birthday parties too, and I'm still doing that, which I don't know. So you do 60. How many do you do, Scott?
We
Like
do
how many
for
cones?
300, minimum is usually about 50, but we don't, we price a little differently. I don't necessarily say only for an hour or 2 hours. Like we'll set an agreement with whoever the specific person is buying. So each deal is a little custom, but so if it's 50 people are going to be there at the party, we'll say unlimited shaved ice for up to 50 guests for say 2 hours or something like that. And we'll rarely hit that 50 mark. Occasionally you'll get a couple little kids who keep coming back again and again and again. And usually with that, we won't even dome the ice anymore. We'll say, hey, do you want a smaller one? Because they just want to keep tasting the different flavors with it. So usually around that, and then we price up from there. We have a whole matrix we put together on the pricing. So all of ours is based on per cup. And then we'll just set the expectation of how long we're going to be there.
Gotcha. So that $300 could be 20 cups, but 2 hours.
Yep.
Or no, not necessarily. Yeah,
It could be.
Could be, but typically it's more than that. It's almost always it's right about where it need to be. There's only one time I did an event. I can't remember. I think they said it was going to be 80 cups, something like that. And we ended up doing like 120 or 40 or 30 or something like that. But they came to me after and they gave me extra money. I didn't even ask for it. They just said, hey, we overstepped what we agreed to. So we've never had a big issue with that. Plus, I compare like the cost per cup at an event versus at my shop, and we're making a lot more per cup at an event. Granted, it's travel time, it's more of more to do, but I'm okay if we give a few extra away.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, we're at $350 an hour for unlimited snowballs and $400 an hour for unlimited snowballs and ice cream. And usually we can do about 100 cups. But most of our corporate events, we do 2-hour minimums.
Yeah.
So we find out how many people that they have. And like right before we got on this, I just signed up a school for the end of the year party, and they have 600 kids. So that'll be a nice little event.
Yeah, schools are awesome.
Yeah.
John, and for the rest of you too, how are you finding corporate clients? Or corporate or school or these type of clients? What's working for you all?
And I tell everybody the biggest thing is our social media, our reels. Find your little quirk, use those reels as best you can, and you'd be surprised how many people will come to you.
Yep. With our program that we're building, it's based on that, is the social media and being in front of people, and then also training and content on how to build reels, because it blows my mind how they work, how successful they can be. So good. So social media. Anyone else have a good ninja trick on how you're getting corporate or school or community type clients? What's working for you guys?
Well, I was also going to say for schools, I have 6 elementary schools within a 5-mile radius. So that helps.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I have a lot of schools too. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, hold on just 1 second here. Let me get the.
I was agreeing. I do a lot of schools as well, and mine came from just Facebook and like the local boys and girls clubs.
Cool.
Hold on just 1 second.
Go on Facebook ads or just Facebook posts?
Okay, go ahead.
Just my Facebook posts, and then doing the little reels on Instagram, and then Instagram will let me share it to my page, to my Facebook page. So just doing things like that. And then I got a lot of people that just share. We've been blessed with that. Just the people who kind of just say, hey, if you think snowballs in the area where we're at, from Murfreesboro, Tennessee to Columbia or wherever, our name will come up, and they'll just say, hey, they can do it. They'll do it. They'll be able to do it. And that's how we got in corporate parties. We were just in a Facebook group in Murfreesboro, and my name came up. I talked to a lady, And the first one we did was for a company called Maynard Plumbing. Once we did that event, then we brought our jumpers. My brother has a jumper business, inflatable jump houses.
Mhm.
So I just incorporated all of that. I have a cousin that does face painting. So I brought her in, I put it all on one invoice, and then we just went from there. They told their friends, another company told another company, and so on.
You bring the whole party. Good
Yeah, man.
heavens.
I would market it that way. We bring the party, you bring the people.
Exactly.
Right.
You need
The
to do
people
that.
doing schools, are you approaching the schools or are they coming to you and asking you to do them?
We've had both.
The schools came to me. I haven't asked to do a school yet. I know last year because of COVID, the concession stands hadn't been open. So in Columbia, Tennessee, the football games, softball, basketball, volleyball, my trailer was the concession stand for the high school.
Yeah.
And by doing that, so the teachers have teacher appreciation. Then I get those and so on and so on. And then other schools, the rivalry football games, once they see me at one school, then I get to go to another one. They call and ask, even the school board. So the school board has been reaching out to me lately. Hey, can you come to this rivalry game? Can you come here and come here and come here? And like I said, it's been a blessing, just word of mouth.
Yep. Liz, I've seen more for us as well, more schools. It's either somebody on the school board or the principal or the PTO or PTA, whatever you call it in your neighborhood, president comes, reaches out to us. I've had a lot more luck of doing that than the opposite of trying to go to schools and trying to, get in report cards or mailers or stuff like that. We've had a lot more luck of people coming to us.
But we've given a lot too, because we gave, like, during Teacher Appreciation Week, we give out to a bunch of the schools, like the little coupons, like come and get a free one. And we
did that, but we
we've
also
done that a
did,
bunch.
we've done a couple times free teacher day. So if you're a teacher, you get a free shaved ice. All you have to do is show your teacher ID badge or something like that.
Yeah.
That's always worked really, really well. We'll get a whole bunch of teachers come. And they never come by themselves. They always come with their spouse or their family or whoever else. So we're selling the rest of those. So that's been a great business model for us.
One thing that we did was we did a fundraiser for each PTO earlier in the year. So when it warms up here, say March, April, so we would give 20% back to the PTO. And that way, when the PTOs were working on the end of the year school parties, guess who they call?
Yep. How did you get in front of, how did you set that up? Was it through the PTO president, or how did you get that to come about?
Well, again, since I have so many schools around me, a lot of them were already coming to our shop, but we ended up just doing a post. Hey, if you would like us to raise money for your school organization or whatever, we would donate 20% of our sales on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Which helps our Tuesday sales. And 20% is nothing to give away, especially to a good organization. Just like Quan said, that the more you give, the more you get.
Yep. And then typically has the school promoted that at the school? It's like Spirit Night or something like that for you?
They'll put a flyer in all the backpacks. So, our average school here has between 600 and 700 kids per elementary school.
Wow.
Yep. Absolutely. It's a great way to do it.
Where are you, John?
Brandon, Mississippi. It's a suburb of Jackson.
Oh, okay.
When you do things like that, where you're giving a percentage back to the organization, are you doing that off of your gross sales?
Yes, I do it off gross.
Or off gross sales. Okay.
I mean, the difference is minuscule to me compared to what it will do for them.
Right.
We do the same. We do the same. Also, we'll give a percentage, and then we'll give a little extra towards the organization. We'll give a percentage to the school, and then we'll give a little extra towards the organization for as far as if it's the volleyball team or football or whatever, because they need a lot of stuff. Sometimes we'll even show up. I know last year for the football team, when they got out of practice, we showed up. We just gave out shaved ice, and then my wife she just told me, she was like, "Hey, what if we just take them a lot of the Gatorade powder packs? We just give stuff."
Yeah.
And then and we get more in return. I mean, we end up getting more in return. Just
we did that
word of
Stickers.
We did that a year ago with one of our bunch of our kids play baseball. But one of our kids was in a little league, so his team was practicing that day. So we got permission from the coach. We went and we set up. We gave shaved ice out to his team, and then we did after that. The board of the league came to us and asked us to be there for a bunch of other Saturdays after that. So we gave a bunch away on that day for free. But then we came back and did more, and then we paid a percentage back to the league as well for them participating. So, or for us, for them letting us be here. Susie, you have your hand raised for a little bit. You have something like to interject here? Susie, we can't hear you if you're talking right now.
Maybe she was just playing with the hand button.
Maybe so.
She might have just discovered it.
Yeah, that's okay. If you want to come, we'll come back around you later if you have another comment on that. So. All right, cool. So schools are good. That's what we're doing there. So overall, it seems like there's optimism going into the coming year. I know we may have some food price issues to be concerned about, but what are, I guess, your concerns or things that, like, is there something you're like, man, I really would love to ask a group about this, because you have a whole room full here of shaved ice owners. Like, what's on your mind that's something you would really love a little bit of help with?
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
They're more shy than last time.
I know. Last time everybody was a chatty bunch.
I've got a question.
Go ahead, Liz.
I don't know if this is what you're aiming for, but
I'm aiming for anything you want to talk about.
And I'm getting the business registered and all that, and I'm wondering with getting like insurance and that kind of stuff, do people set up as, we were thinking we'd set up as an LLC, and then I'm wondering, do I need to put like my trailer? Do I need to register it under an LLC, or like do you register all your stuff under your business, or do you do it like as personal? And then I'm just wondering for insurance purposes and stuff, liability and reasons, if I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to set that up.
So yeah, it kind of depends on different things. The first thing I would do is get in touch with a couple of insurance agents and just kind of ask them what their policy is going to require and what you necessarily need to do. If you're pulling a trailer or you have a truck you're using for it, you do need commercial insurance, and they'll have different requirements and regulations on what they want to do there. Honestly, I've seen both. I've seen some that they'll if they're a trailer, they'll just put it under their personal insurance. I've seen others, they'll put it under the business. So I can't answer that as a blanket answer, at least my experience. Some of you may have other things, thoughts on this, but I would touch base with an insurance agent. If you need one, I have someone that I've recommended a number of times. I'd be happy to share with you. But
and your accountant, because there's different ways you can do
for the
it, right?
yeah,
because you can be an LLC, and then was it
LLC versus S corp or something like that, right?
There's lots of reasons why people just move it over to the S corp. So you need to talk to your accountant too and run that by them. What's going to be the best thing for that and how that works, because that's completely different than LLC.
Right, but I think pronounce your name, Pam, and you've been raising your hand to answer this. You have a comment on this too?
Well, not on the LLC. I have a different question.
Okay,
we'll get to that in 1 second. Then we'll finish up this. Casey, do you have a question or a comment on the LLC or insurance?
No, it was something else. So
okay, I'll get to you guys here in a second then. But Liz, do you need a recommendation of someone for insurance to talk to?
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
I'll be happy
to send me somebody
to send you that, unless anyone else has any other comments on this as well.
I'm interested also in the insurance aspect of it. I paid almost $1,200 last year.
Okay. Yeah, could you both do me a favor? Just shoot me a direct message through Facebook, or anyone else for that matter wants an introduction for insurance. I'd be happy to make an introduction for you. There's certain topics like that I'm always leery of giving much advice on, because I'm not an expert, I'm not an accountant, I'm not an insurance agent. And so I want to make sure to get you to a professional rather than saying, here's what might might or may not work for you. Does that help, Liz?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Did you have another question, Liz?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I'm glad you can make it. I've seen your name around, so I'm glad you're here today. All right, Pam, let's go to you. You had a question. And Casey will get to you next. Am I saying your name right, Pam?
Pamela Long.
Pamela Long. Okay, I'm sorry. I stopped at the
Pamela
A.
Long. Or you can just say Pam.
All right, Pam. We'll go with Pam.
So I am I'm really brand new. So this might be a very rudimentary question. So forgive me. I bought a coffee bus. It was operating as a coffee bus when I purchased it. And it also had a shaved ice machine on it. Hi. And so I've been actually trying to get my skills down on the coffee part of it, but we're starting to heat up here in the Arizona area. So now I'm trying to figure out, okay, now what do I need to do to be really, really good at shaved ice? My biggest question right now is, how are you guys getting and storing your ice? I don't have a large commissary or commercial kitchen, because everything that I do, when I do an event with coffee, I go and buy my milk at Safeway or wherever the morning of, so I don't have to store anything. So what I was thinking with the shaved ice, that'll probably be later in the day, not, like 8 o'clock in the morning. Maybe doing a run and going and buying block ice, or how do you guys handle having enough ice on hand to do your events?
Sure. You have what kind of shaver are you using?
It's blue.
It's blue. Is it tall and skinny, an upright one?
Yeah.
Is it horizontal or vertical? Horizontal.
Vertical.
Okay, it's probably it's most likely a Swan if it's like a heavy duty one, or it could be
not a Swan,
or the Great Northern Popcorn.
That's it. That one, the Great Northern Popcorn one.
Okay, so we have both of those. We use the Great Northern Popcorn. So
we've used it. We don't
we use that for some events here and there. So this is what we do. And anyone else wants to please, comment as well. For that Great Northern Popcorn machine, a block ice that you can probably buy is going to be too big for it. So you need to cut the block in half. It's very easy to do. I have a YouTube video I can send you to do. It takes like literally 5 seconds to cut it in half. So it's not hard. If you can, my recommendation is buy as much ice as you can ahead of time and have a chest freezer to keep it stored in. So you're not constantly having to run to the store, because what if they run out, or if you can't get there or whatever. Chest freezers, you can get them, inexpensive, a bunch of different places, and keep as much of that on hand. And then for events, what we use, we have big coolers. The brand is called Lifetime. We've tested that versus Yeti versus Igloo and a bunch of others. They're a little expensive, I guess, a couple $100 for a cooler, but we have two different sizes. One we put 8 blocks in, one we could put 6 blocks in, and it'll stay rock hard frozen with barely any condensation on it for about 24 hours. And then you can use those to take to events. That's how we've done a lot of events.
Okay. I know when we started, we had a block shaver as well, and then we went to cube shaver, but we made our own. Because we didn't have anywhere to get ice, so we made our own ice. And I did a lot of just YouTube videos, tutorials, and I forgot what they're called, but they're like tubs, like little white tubs with
like the ice cream tub.
They're molds.
Like
molds.
Ice cream tubs. They're plastic tubs.
In my county, we can't do that at home. That has to be done in a commercial kitchen.
A lot of places require that.
Okay.
I don't know how closely they inspect that, but I always err on follow the rules and don't get yourself into trouble.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way to do it. Stock up as much as you can, put in coolers, take it to events, and you should be good to go from there. Does that help? Any other questions? You're brand new.
Yes, thank you very much.
You getting in this, or any other questions you want to ask or talk about?
That's really the biggest thing, is just how to take care of the ice. I just, because right now our water and ice store that's
Yep,
local
I
to
remember
me,
those.
has blocks, but they use cubes in water and freeze that.
Oh, okay.
And what we
Compressed.
found with that is it just breaks apart. It just
Mhm.
totally breaks apart. It's not
Mhm.
useful at all. So yeah, we have talked about, maybe freezing our own, and just kind of hoping the health
We didn't
department
hear
doesn't
that.
come by, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not.
I know nothing.
Okay. Well, I was just saying that we have kind of contemplated maybe just freezing our ice, and
Yeah.
just hoping the health department doesn't get upset with us, but I don't like doing business that way. So yeah, we'll just have
do it
to
legit. Do it
figure something out.
legit, and don't get yourself into trouble.
Yeah,
Keep people
I
safe, so.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listeners, you're getting going.
But
You have
thank you, I
questions.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Your questions on things, shoot me a message. If you ever want to jump on a call, I'm happy to do that. I really enjoy doing that. So if you want to just ask you some things, we'd be happy to help you with that.
So Charla, we were asking about the igloo chest. Their lifetime, we've bought them both we found them at Sam's Club and at Walmart. We've bought them, and they both have had different sizes at different times. But I want to say it's like $125, $135 for depending on if it's the one that held the 6.
There was one, there's a 55 quart that holds 6 and a
Yeah.
77 quart, I think it's called, that holds 8. It can hold 8 10-pound blocks.
But they're nice. They're very nice.
We tested against the Yeti, and I liked it better. So, all right, Casey, you had your hand raised for a long time. What can we do for you? Or what would you like to talk about?
Okay, so this will be our second season. What we did was converted a church bus. We've really been happy with it, but the big issue we're having now, it's all windows, and there's windows all around this thing. And I really like it because it's very interactive for everybody. I think people enjoy it. But in the summer, it was a big issue with the heat. My syrups got warm. It was hard to keep things going.
So is this too hot inside the bus, you're saying?
Yes, I mean, I don't know not even about putting in the windows, but I noticed the quality of the ice that we were sending out later in the season cool off was so much better than what we were doing in the middle of the summer. I hate putting a lower quality down in the middle of the summer because of that heat.
Yeah. You're breaking up a little bit. I think I kind of caught the gist of it though, but is it something, if you're, converted a little bit, can you put in like a window AC unit, or is there I guess a swamp cooler in the word, but like,
do you have the windows tinted? I mean, I
Yeah.
know we have all of our windows. We live in Florida. We have all of our front facing windows tinted. It makes a huge difference. I know that's probably a pain, but if there's no other way to put an air conditioning unit, that's probably like one of the biggest thing to do is just put the tinting in. I don't know.
Because you're right. It does make a difference if it's really hot where you are trying to shake. Because we see this on like outdoor events at parties and stuff like that. Your ice melts so fast. It kind of turns into a quality issue. So
Right.
I think that, or Dina left a comment there as well. The window tinting, like Sherry said, window tinting, or anything you can do to cover those windows would probably be their best route.
Yeah, we put a unit in it. And it helps some, but I think the windows are tinted, but we are going. That's one of our plans. Short is to have them just darkened as much as possible. I think that's going to help a lot.
All right. Hey, check the chat too. Mark just put in a link to double bubble reflective foil insulation. I think they had double bubble. I can only think of the gum. So
double bubble.
Check that out. Maybe that's something that would help for you as well.
Easy. What?
All right. What other questions you guys have you'd like to talk about?
Okay.
I have a question. I don't know if anyone knows the answer to this, but like I said, I just recently closed my storefront. So all my advertising was in Tropical Snow Awatuki. That was my name and everything.
Mhm.
And now I went back to my roots, which is my truck, and that's my legal business name is Let It Snow Cones.
Mhm.
And so I want all my social media to go back to Let It Snow Cones. And I'm not sure how to do that and still preserve all my photos and stuff. I've kind of gone through and taken off all my store photos from my social media.
Mhm.
But how do I do that? Because I put on like Facebook, I have Tropical Snow Awatuki / Let It Snow Cones. But in order, when people ask me for my web address or whatnot, I put in Let It Snow Cones and it doesn't come up, but Tropical Snow Awatuki does. So how can I convert that, but still keep all my original media? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So a couple ideas. Set a date, 2-3 weeks down the road and just announce, hey, we're transitioning our social media to this name by such and such a date. Then from there, do not delete your old stuff on your social media account, because that's still your history and people can go back and see and be like, oh, that's right, I remember that this was the same business and so forth. But just, say on such and such a date we're doing, and then change your links on that day. But at the same time, go and create new accounts with your old links, and then just say on there, now found at your new link. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm not that I'm not that wise. Maybe I'll talk to you off.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to walk through that a little bit, but just having them be able to, because if you get some go to your old one, first off, don't worry as much about it, because there's not a lot of people who just go type in like your thing. They're gonna see it and they're gonna click on it. Is most how people interact on their phone or on their computer. So they're clicking on the link, they're going to it, they're seeing a picture, they're going to it. That's still gonna all work for you. But I would just swap it out, and then just that same day create a separate account with your old account's name, and then just put on there, hey, now we're found at this new account. But if you want to talk through it when you're doing that, I'm happy to do that with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really ignorant to that stuff, and I just
Don't
need
be
to
sorry.
learn.
It's quite all right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Dina, you had your hand up, and then Brian, we'll get to you in a second. Dina, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, so I was wondering if you guys had any advice on where to look for an accountant that is well versed in kind of the food truck industry. This past season was our first year open. So, we have a ton of deductions with, all the startup costs and all of those things. And I did find someone locally in Fayetteville, North Carolina area that, I did kind of a consult with when I was starting up to kind of get advice on how to purchase things, what name it should be put in, like that.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't seem super knowledgeable about things specific to our industry. And I know I'm just a little concerned about missing out on deductions and things like that, going with someone who's not familiar.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a source of anyone to find a pool of them. If anybody has one, please chime in. Most small business or entrepreneurial accountants should be able to help. A small business accountant, should be able to help you. There is an organization we've used in the past, what they call TaxBot.
Yeah.
In there, you can find other accountants, and you can look around and likely find somebody who would be helpful for that. That might be one of the best things that I would start with them. From there, I don't have a great resource to say,
We're
here's the one place to go.
because I have real estate stuff, and then we have this. So our accountant's been doing ours for
it's
a while. And I
multi-layered.
can't say that he's specific to
Right.
to either one. So, I mean, I don't know, but we don't have I don't have somebody that's like, yes.
Yeah. But if anyone has a recommendation, please.
If you have a recommendation, shoot it out.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear. Or if you moved from one to another and they, found a lot of loopholes, that would be great for us to hear as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, we're a military family, so we don't live in the state that, we do our taxes in, and the person, QuickBooks thankfully makes it easy that you can just, you don't even have to be in the same state as whoever's doing your taxes. So that's why I was like, I can literally use anyone. I just need them to make sure they know the business. So okay, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian, penalty box shaved ice. What can we do for you, sir? What would you like to talk about?
I was curious because I'm new to it also. I've seen a lot through research, the syrup temperatures. and like trying to keep them cooler. And obviously in Illinois in the summer, it's humid and, 80 to 90 degrees.
Mhm.
Is there a good way to, or a good like shelf or something you guys have made that can keep the syrup cool so that it's not like melting the ice, instantly?
Sure. Anyone have any good tips on that?
Are you in a trailer or are these for events?
Yeah. Yeah, a trailer.
Okay, so does it has air conditioning in the trailer?
There's no air in it, no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have a chest freezer and that's
I
it.
think
We
Daniel,
have
have a
air
comment?
conditioner.
Or
We have
Quan,
air
sorry.
conditioning and our windows is tinted, but also some places we go is really hot. We use dry ice, especially for the syrup that we're not just using at the time, like that we already got pre-made in gallons. We got like a little area under it's kind of like up under a table, but it's boxed off, and we use dry ice. Put the layer of dry ice, and then we put styrofoam. It's like a little thin sheet of styrofoam on top of it, so it doesn't stick, but it keeps it cool. And then also on our flavor, we have a flavor station, 2 of the Snowy flavor stations, and in the center of it, we set it's like little freezer packs that we sit in our kids' lunch boxes, but they're bigger. We set those in the middle. It kind of keeps it cool.
Cool.
I did see in one brick and mortar place, they had in the middle of like you place your order, then right next to them was like a hotel pan type thing set up, like a larger pan. Inside there was this like a cold water, not necessarily frozen water, but cooler water. And then the bottles sitting in that, and that helped keep them a little bit cooler too.
Yeah, I was just thinking of like maybe like in those trays usually hung up, like if anybody put like ice in there or, I don't know. I might be overdoing it on that, but I feel like, I don't want it to get too warm, and it's going to get warm pretty fast.
Yeah.
No matter if I, kept in a fridge beforehand or not,
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the best bet would be a cooler.
Yeah.
Get a cooler, and then all your leftover ice from your machine can go in there as you're producing your ice. All those leftover ice cubes can go into that, or leftover broken ice. Put it into your cooler, and it'll keep it way cooler.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
That's what I do at events and private parties. I create a container, like a bar type of container, and I just fill it up with ice, and it keeps all my bottles together.
Thank you.
That's good tips. Daniel, I was enjoying watching you make a little shaved ice there, putting the snow cap on top. That's sweet condensed.
He was getting busy there.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he's giving us a demonstration.
He's showing off for us. That's cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What kind
we have
of
a drive-through?
You have a drive-through. He's got to keep working.
We have a bestseller, which is a strawberry with fresh strawberry cream.
Sounds good. I could go for one.
So,
all right, what do you want to do?
Are there any like topics or I'm asking this because we're debating some future classes or virtual events and stuff like that. What topics or things would you guys like to hear about or learn about more, or speakers from other industries, or like Dina mentioned, for example, about an accountant, that'd be good, or about insurance or anything around the shaved ice industry. Are there any specific things you guys want to hear more about? You don't necessarily, you can, if you want to say it loud, you can. If you want to put it in the chat, I'm interested in hearing a little bit more about that too, about just any topics that'd be more beneficial for you.
Yeah. Or equipment, or POS systems, or
anything.
I saw you were working on a directory for places that sell the block ice.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to be awesome, because I think that's a struggle that a lot of us have is, we have to make our own or buy the $10,000 block ice makers, because there's just no one, around that we know of that sells it. So I think that would be so valuable.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good one.
I'm the block maker.
What was that?
I said, buy the block maker.
Which one do you have?
I have the one, I have a 40 ice block maker.
Is that the one with what is that stuff called? The glycol or something, or whatever it is?
Yes,
Mhm.
I can make blocks of ice for 12 cents
Awesome.
Nice. We
instead of
had
paying
a
250.
we had a block ice issue recently with our vendor saying he's no longer going to do it. So
Yeah, we're in the midst of that right
yeah,
now.
cool. So a
Then
couple
the
of
money.
yeah,
We paid for it within 5.5 months.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So a couple saying looking for help with POS using square or flavors where we get squares. Kevin used hypothermias. I like hypothermias. Our philosophy on flavors has never been to I don't stick with one brand. I know many people do, but we sample all of them. So we buy a bunch of different we'll buy 5 or 8 different strawberries. We'll taste test them all and we'll pick the one we like best. So we don't necessarily have one. In our Shaved Ice Academy, we go more in depth in that and whatever favorites are, but I agree with that.
Yeah.
Vipin, you had a question too. Go ahead and share what you like to talk about.
Yeah, I'm working on how to deliver online orders and how to deliver at home. So I got this cooler pouch. I found it here with one startup who did it for other products also. We pre-chill this pouch and we put it in the bag. I tried it in a bigger bag. It can save it up to 6-7 hours. The temperature doesn't go up actually. So we are asking to make small pouches so that we can deliver online orders along with the pouch to the customers. And around we have to experiment yet, but some thermocol bag and these pouches can be used to deliver around 20-30 minutes distance as a cloud kitchen model. And also want to use this for coolers for syrup delivery. Like if I have a syrup bowl, I can add these pre-cooled pouches into the around the syrup container so that I can serve the syrups. All this is into experiment stage, as you know. So maybe trying this summer, all these things.
Yeah, that could be good. So like Brian, that answers one of your issues about keeping the syrups cool. Vipin's in India and he's working on different machinery and different product line around the shaved ice thing. So that ice pouch, that pack stays cold for 6 to 7 hours, you said, right?
Yes, we can have for different temperatures. So -50, -70, we can order and get these pouches for that temperature.
That's cool.
Re-chill up to that level and then put it there. And I tried it for, I carried, actually I shaved my ice, made snow cones, took it around 5 hours away from my place, served all the day and got it back. And I made the shaved ice with sugarcane only till date, never made with water. So it's like till date, my experience with customer is very good.
Excellent. Good job. I know you're working on a bunch of stuff, so I'm very excited to see what else you keep coming up with.
And I'm also trying to add one blender to the shaved ice machine. I can replace the holder, remove the holder, put the blender. And as I've seen some videos of ice scramble, they shave the ice and then they blend it with some flavor. So this is, we are putting it in the machine itself. So you can remove the ice block holder and replace it with your blender.
Cool.
Maybe in next 2-3 months, I'll be able to show you up all these things on in the community.
Keep going, man. That's cool. Good job. Thank you. Javin, you had a question. You've been raising your hand for a little bit there. What can we answer for you?
A question I've been trying to get figured out before the upcoming season. So I have a snowball trailer, and I'm trying to figure out how can I make it passive at a specific location. You know, considering the generator and leaving ice on the trailer overnight and things like that.
So you want to keep it there and never move it, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's our business model. We have a trailer. It stays in a gas station parking lot. We have employees who work it, so we don't have to go work it. The way it worked for us is we had power run. So we're in the corner of a gas station. We have power run from the big sign that shows the price close to our spot, and we have outlets so we can plug into our trailer. Just plugs in there and stays plugged in. And then our ice vendor, they have a large merchandiser, holds about 120-ish blocks of ice that sits outside, like what you see in front of a gas station or 7-Eleven, a big ice machine like that. That sits next to our shop, and we have padlocks on it, and just stays there all the time.
pay to run your own 30 amp power line, or did the gas station do it for you?
We paid to do it. We had the electrician do it. I think it was $100.
Yeah.
Now you might be able to find spots where there's power there already. You wouldn't even have to do that.
Okay, sounds good.
When you ran that, Scott, is it like just is on top of the cement or whatever, or did you actually have it run underneath somehow?
No, so it's in the grass. So from the sign dug in the grass to the corner of the pavement. So we didn't have to go under the pavement. We had another spot we're looking at. They wanted to run under the pavement, and we're like, yeah, I'm not paying for that. No thanks.
I was gonna say that's a lot, probably like pretty expensive.
Yeah, but you figure, I mean, pay attention to any parking lot. You'll see like light posts, you'll see stuff. A lot of times you'll see an outlet kind of floating around there. If not, often they can tap into the light post, so they can find a power source somewhere and they can run power for you.
But I have seen them where they did run it over the concrete and they ran it through, and then they put the metal conduit on the ground and like attached it to the concrete. So like I have seen, like when you've gone to different, the different trucks and things, how they've gotten creative to make it work.
And Susie asked, what do we do to make sure nobody takes it? We our trailer, the tow bar, the tongue comes off. Yeah. So it would take a lot of work for somebody to go and tow that thing away. There's devices you can buy to lock the ball so that they can't do it, or lock the wheels, or some trailers like ours, for example, you could lift it up and you could take the wheels off and then kind of set it on the ground. So there's different options of things you can do to make sure nobody steals it. And if anything, just have security cameras and a well-lit corner, well-lit spot, and just some safety things you can do. We have cameras. The gas station has cameras, and it helps that we're literally next door to the police station.
Yeah, literally.
So a couple of the questions in the chat here. How many employees do we have with that setup? It varies. Right now we have 3. In the summer we might have as much as 10 to 12. Our employees are high schoolers, so they all work part-time. Occasionally we'll have somebody come through who want to work, 35 to 40 hours a week, but for the most part, we just have 1 or 2 people there on shift at a time. And then that's employees. And then Mark, you asked, would you ever consider doing something like a 2 or 3 day hands-on training program where people would fly to us and we teach them, let them shadow with us? Yeah, absolutely. We do have programs on things like that. We could 1 to 2 days have you come in, spend some time with us. I could even go out to you as well. So if it's something you're interested in doing, send me a message and be happy to talk about what that looks like, if it makes any sense. GPS on there, on a trailer. I've seen people use lately, Rose, is the Apple tags, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Apple tags, that seems to work pretty well.
Yeah, my friend. I don't know if you remember the last, we had 42 employees during the summer.
John's got a bunch.
Yeah, because you guys have 2 drive-throughs. I can only imagine.
I want to come see your shop, John, one day. I envy that thing.
I envy anyone that has a drive-through.
Drive-through, man.
I'm just covet them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're happy for you. We'll put it that way. We're not envious in that way.
Yeah.
Well, we're heading down to your area tomorrow, so.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Come by, or I'll meet up with you somewhere if you like.
All right. I have to sign off, so it was nice chatting with all of you. I have to go do some other work now, but I hope you guys all have very successful shaved ice season, and I'm sure I'll see you guys all really soon.
See you, babe. Any other comments or questions or things you all like to talk about?
Franchising?
What's that, Daniel? Sorry.
Do you happen to have any good information or good companies that can help us structure franchising?
I don't. I have a friend here locally who did that with his business, and have talked to him a number of times, but I don't have an attorney or anybody specific that can help with that. Does anybody else have any resources?
Yeah, because I got like 10 people that want to open up dayas.
Yeah.
In different locations, but I want to make sure that I structure it properly to where I'm free from everything, but I'm also giving the quality I'm expecting.
Yep. Yeah, I know there's a lot of franchise attorneys and agreements and things out there to find. I'm sorry, I just don't have any expertise on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What else? Anything else you guys want to talk about? If not, if you like to stick around, I can show you a little bit about the next generation we're looking to do, but I want to make sure we answer all your questions or anything you want. Brian, put in the chat, anyone willing to share your Instagram for your business? Please, in fact, go ahead and put in the chat if you'd like, so we can click on that if you want to share your Instagram page or Facebook page. I think in the group there's a thread in there somewhere about sharing your social media, so feel free to post that in there, or even if you'd like, Brian, in the Facebook group, create a new one in there, create a new post, and then have people put their links in there, different social media. I have a list of, I think, 400 or 500 shaved ice businesses. Maybe I'll share that one day too. So cool. Dean, you get another question there. Any ideas on things to sell with shaved ice that wouldn't require much extra equipment or licensing? So what else are you guys selling besides shaved ice that maybe is a cousin or similar to shaved ice? Not necessarily, have to buy a fryer or a grill or something else, but that's something else similar to shaved ice. Any ideas for that?
We
Susan said
do
popcorn, cotton candy, buy from a vendor. So Daniel, you had a comment?
We do iced coffees.
Coffees?
We do iced coffee.
Mm-hmm. Those are good.
It's the same ice.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also do smoothies.
Yep. We've done at different times drinks. So shave ice into a cup and then pour in a little bit of flavor, but then use like Monster Energy drink or Perrier water or something like that to give it some bubbly. That, or the other one I've seen, I haven't done this. I really want to test this. Is like, think about the Capri Sun pouches, selling little pouches like that with the straw. I always thought that'd be a good product to have too. Cool. All righty, guys. So let me do this. I'm going to bring up my screen again. If you want to stick around, I just want to, my purpose in doing this is I would love feedback from you guys. As I've looked around kind of the landscape of the shaved ice / food truck world and kind of see what is a need or what is a hole that people have often. One of the main ones is always around marketing, about how to market, about how to take the time to market. And I look at our business as well. One of the biggest things that probably the thing I spend the most time on is on the marketing side of things. And then looking at other industries, we started playing with an idea of building a platform where you can get access to a bunch of different ways to, not like some semi done for you, some ways to help you with marketing, and really ways to make it easy for you to get your business out there, your shop out there, whether you're mobile, going to events like I think it was Quan was saying, does different events, doing that, or if you're in one spot or one location, or if you're brick and mortar, really doing it. So this is kind of something we're working on. I would love some feedback on and your thoughts on if this is something that makes sense. The benefits, this will be a membership platform where you can subscribe into, and then I'll show you in a second what you get from it. But really the point of it is to kind of take the guesswork out of getting new customers or building a base of customers. One of the things I teach in all of our classes is to build a base of customers, get people to come to you, make sure you have an excellent product and service so they want to come back to you again and again and again. So the question is always, well, how do you get a base of customers? How do you do that? Or how do you take the guesswork out of messaging and content or anything? And then how do you have, professionally designed strategy and content and campaigns and things that just make your life a whole lot easier. I've always kind of stewed on what's the way we can really develop a platform or something to help people do that. How do you get customers with minimal effort? And then also want to give a better resource center for education. We have the group, and the group I like because it's supposed to be a community. It's supposed to be a place for you to ask questions, interact with other business owners. And I strongly encourage you guys to do that after you're done here today, to go in, to connect with each other inside the group, share your wins, ask your questions, share your doubts and your losses and things like that too. Like really make that as a community in a place. But I want another platform that's really more of an education center. This is marketing, it's training, it's tips, it's tutorials, it's resources, and it's guides. And that's really what I'm trying to accomplish here with this platform here. So what will be included, and again, guys, I'm not selling you and pitching on this. I'm asking for genuine feedback or comments on, is this something that makes sense for you? And do you think it would work? So every month you would get strategic planning done for you. And I'll show you what this looks like in a second. So it'd be a marketing calendar where hey, every day, this is what I need to do to market. And then past that, social media templates, and specifically for Instagram and Facebook, as well as TikTok or Instagram Reel. I can't do those for you, but I can tell you, hey, here is music that works now, and here's kind of a script or something that you can do. Give you some templates to do that on a monthly basis, and every single day, this is what I need to do. Past that, to send out direct messages, which is a very powerful way to get customers. To send out a text messaging platform as well. I send out text messages you can send through your platform as well. Give you the specific, hey, on this day, go send this message, just fill in the blank here. We'd provide that for you. And then a couple of ads every month as well. So here's a professionally designed ad. It's ready to go. You just have to maybe put in your logo or your business name, but it's an ad that you can use. You get that every single month, all delivered and ready to go. And then behind all that is a library of all that stuff from previous months, but then other things as well. You know, we talk in our Shaved Ice Academy a lot about having checklists, for example. So we'd give you templates of checklists so you can edit those and put those into your business, or printables. So you know, what postcard should I send out? Or we talked here today about doing frequent buyer card. You'd have a template for that, or your business card, or a card to take to different local businesses to try to pitch your services, or a flyer, or all these different things. You'd have templates of all this built in specifically for food trucker at large, but Shaved Ice, we'd have a Shaved Ice corner for this as well. And then training and tutorials. Some of this would be marketing specific. Here's how to set up a text message list. Or we're talking a few minutes ago about, you know, if I need to transition from one platform to another, how do I do that? Or one account to another, how do I do that? You'd be having there, like, here's training on how to set up Square, how to set up your different things in there, how to do your inventory in there. All these different trainings and tutorials. And then I would do specific for Shaved Ice also, just because I like Shaved Ice stuff. And then member perks and discounts. So that's kind of a high level overview of like what would be included in something like this. What it looks like a little bit, and then I'd love some feedback. So every month you'd get this. You'd get a calendar that you can download. And it says whoops, sorry, went too far ahead. I can go back. There we go. So every day it's, you know, like today, for example, we'd post something personal about your business, and you see it corresponds with these different marketing pillars below. So on the personal, I'm going to post something about that builds trust about my team or about my clients or story. And I'd have templates for you on how to build that or how to set up a post like that. Tomorrow would be a post about joining our text list. And again, there'd be a template for you ready to go that you just go in and edit your phone number for your text list, or I teach you how to do it, or about product. As you see, as the month kind of snakes around, you know every day, hey, here's the thing I need to do to market my business. You'd have training as well on how to take the template and then schedule it so that during the month, you don't have to think about it. My most profitable months, by the way, are the months I didn't have to stop and think about, shoot, what should I market or send out today? It was all ready to go. It was all scheduled, and it was all, you know, all ready for me to go ahead and just either it was scheduling it to run automatically, or I knew what I need to post that day. So every month you'd get this as a packet. You'd get, it'd be digital, but you'd get this sheet, and then you get all the corresponding templates. They'd be inside of Canva, so you can use the free version of Canva, and then you can edit and update your templates to work for your business. From there, this is the beta. Our developers working this now of what the template library would look like. So if you're sitting and you're like, you know what, we need to design a new postcard we're going to send out, or need to design a new frequent buyer card, or need to design whatever, you can go in and you would have, you know, hundreds of templates based out, set up for you already. Or the meme warehouse, like I like, this goes back to the food truckers account. I like posting some silly things or some funny things, but there's a lot of those you can do for your business as well. So you'd have rights to be able to go ahead and use those and edit those and put your logo on it, or change it for your business, or whatever you want to do. Challenges, like for example, in a month or so, about a month and a half, is going to be the March Madness challenge here in the States. So I'd have a bracket for you ready to go if you want to do like a flavor challenge. We did this last year, it worked amazing. If you want to do a flavor challenge, or whatever challenge, you'd have the templates and all that, so you can go ahead and edit it and put it all together. And then past that, the training center. So I've put together a lot of different training videos about marketing. So this would be included in here. You'd have access to that. It's different than our Shaved Ice Academy, by the way. That's a whole standalone program. This is more on the marketing side, or different topics, like how to find a location would be included in there, or whatever different topics that come up. Kind of think of it as like a Netflix, where you'd have it go in and you'd see a library and categories, like here's a bunch of different training topics. Oh, I want some assistance or some guidance on this, and we put it in there, and we constantly updating, we constantly putting more and more into that. So That's kind of the overall thing. So any thoughts or feedback on that stuff? I guess like one of my main questions I have is, and please don't be shy on this. Is this something you think would be beneficial to you? Would it be helpful? Is it something that you see a platform like that? Would it work for you? Would it help you? Would help you as you guys are really trying to get your business established and get it going and get it growing? I guess that's my first question there. Any thoughts on that? Or maybe nobody's sure. If you want to put in the chat, you can do that too. I think it'd be a great way to stay motivated. Cool. I'd be interested if it's social media. Yep. I definitely need help with marketing. Dana. Hey, Dana. Good to see you, by the way. And Quan, you like that too. Okay. So my next question is, and just because we're trying to figure out the pricing of it, like this would be something that's like a monthly membership fee. What's like a price range? Like what would be something that you think like, man, if I paid, this little amount, I'd get a ton of value out of it. What's something that you think that would make sense for you or would be worth the cost for you, just based on what you know so far? Any thoughts on that as well? Everybody's always afraid to answer that question.
Since I just quit my corporate job, I'm really, really watching every penny.
Yeah.
But I just off the top of my head, I would say like $70 a month,
Okay.
$80 a month.
Cool.
Is that? I have no idea. Maybe that's way lower than you went.
No, I am all over. I mean, like Pam just put in her 10 a month. Okay, cool. And then we have 70 to 80, Dina 50 to 100. Like we're playing with different packages, different ideas on it. So then I have my costs I need to figure out on the back end of it. So I'm not coming this with I hope they say my number. I truly am not. I've learned long ago is I'm going to develop and put something out there. Not just about what I think, but also what can I do? Dana, any discount for people? Yep, Dana, actually I have a plan and you've come to mind on that. And I'll talk to you offline about a plan I want to do with that, with what you're asking. Dana's in one of our other programs, a food truck marketing program. And yes, you will have access to that. And this will be different than what you had before. But I'll go through that with you and kind of explain how that looks. Brian said $19.99 a month. So, okay, cool. So we're between different packages on there. Anything that's missing, like, I guess as you're out working on your business, what do you need the most help with as far as the marketing side of things? Or is it like, is there something like, man, if this was done, or if this was something that I could get some support or some assistance with, that you're looking for? Is there anything out there that you want some help with? Or I guess what drives you the most crazy in your marketing front? Nothing at all. Okay.
My thing is everything is fine on my end, but it's just pretty much coming up with what I'm gonna post or what I'm gonna say or when I'm gonna post or what to say. So what you were saying, like I would really enjoy that. Just to have something I could just add something to and go on and post. I know I look at the insights a lot on Instagram, telling me when most of my followers are on, like in between 12 and 9 o'clock, and just so I know when to post, but trying to figure out what to post, what catches their eye, and so on and so on. That gives me the biggest headache. I do it, but it's a lot of time in it. And that would cut my time in half. If you would.
That's what once we got the business kind of established and running and going, that takes the most time I find is like, all right, what do I post now? What should I say? What should we do? And so we when I'm in front of it, I'm telling you, we're the most successful. Things run the best. So I'm feeling what you're saying there. I kind of agree with the same thing. Dina put in the chat as well, content ideas that raises engagement on my social media that don't require me to stress trying to take pictures, videos while I'm working. I feeling you there too. It's funny. Everybody says, man, all you have to do to grow your business is post a bunch of reels or post this or that. You're like, that means I have to do the work. I have to post it, I have to create it. And it's kind of tough to do. So cool. All right. Well, guys, I appreciate the feedback on that. Two questions. That's all. Like I said, that's all I want to do is kind of go through that real quick and kind of get your feedback on it. Javin, you've had your hand up for a little bit though. You have a question or comment or something you'd like to bring up with us?
Got to take it down from the last question.
Oh, okay, got it. Sorry. And Andre, good to see you, man. What would you like to talk about?
Well, I
think that was, you guys were talking about electricity or running cable or something like that. I was at the package store trying to get some boxes shipped off, so I was just kind of listening. But I have a question. I mentioned the land earlier, and it's a 1 acre lot that's near a strip mall. And I was talking to the owner yesterday. She has it up for sale, so I approached her about letting me lease it while it's still up for sale. It's been over for sale for over a year, but you know, her thoughts would be me leaving my trailer so I can leave it there all the time. But I already have storage, and my storage place is at a church, which is also my commissary. So you know, I would rather just bring it out on the days that I have it. But how do you work in water and electricity, or I really don't care about water, electricity into your leasing price? Because I'm not renting a storefront, it's just a plot of land that's sitting there.
For us, it was kind of a non-negotiable because we're at a gas station. They're using a bunch of electricity. My power I'm using is minimal. You know, they're not going to necessarily notice a difference there. You know, so is this a vacant lot now? Is there any power on site right now?
I don't believe there's power, but there's building on each side. So you've got the strip mall, and it's big enough. It's a 1 acre plot, so it's big enough for someone to build another building there. And I could see all the powers running along the back line of the area. But that's one of my biggest questions. You're negotiating with her because we're going to meet again, and I want to put some tables out. There's an area where it's kind of wet, so if we have to lay gravel down, that expense, is that going to go on her, or you know, do I take that expense on? And those are some of my questions.
The short answer is all it's negotiable. You know, if you were to go to a brick and mortar location, you would negotiate your build out, and a portion of that could be by the owner of the building, and a portion that would be by you. And as far as I know, we just negotiated on one. I don't know if there's a set standard per se. It kind of depends on the agreement that you're trying to put together there. So I would look into like, hey, what's kind of the cost of that, and you know, I would personally, I try to find an angle to it. Like, hey, we need these updates done, you know, the gravel put down and stuff like that. We'd like you to do it because it's going to increase the value of their property, you know, or it's going to increase the value of what they can put there. You need to kind of negotiate that out and see what would make the most sense for them there. But power, if they don't have any that they have there, you got to, I guess, touch base with the buildings on both sides of it to see if you can run power from them, and they might allow you to just do it.
Okay. I mean, I have generator now, so that, you know,
the other option you could do, I just thought, we looked into this when we found our location. We had the power company come out, and they didn't charge for this. They did an assessment of what it would take to get power from the closest box to our spot. Now they wouldn't, you know, install the cable and the outlet and stuff like that. You'd have to have an electrician to do it. But they could get a raw power source. They did an assessment, and they didn't charge us for do it to tell us how much it'd be. And then I could have had my own meter and pay my own bill to the power company. You can look into doing that, but I would start with just the local buildings and saying, hey, we're thinking about setting up here. Do you mind if we run power from your building? It's not going to be much per month. I mean, if they want a little something, say, hey, you know, we'll give you free snowballs or something like that, or, you know, try that route versus, you know, saying, hey, here's a set amount I need to pay every month.
Gotcha. And one last question for growth wise, you know, my trailers are 6x12. I've been looking at some of these, like the sheds that they build.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
I know for our county, you know, anything under 200 square feet, you don't have to deal with the city as much, as long as they strap it into the ground. And they're built to spec, and I think she builds them to be like tiny house specs if you want to build it out like that. Has anyone you've worked with, done a shed. I know I've seen them on several of the pages.
There's a lot of them that do it. One we talked to when we got started is a company called Lilo's Shaved Ice in Kansas City. That's exactly what they have. That's a shed that or building that is movable. You can pick it up and move and take it somewhere else. So every season they go and they get it dropped down there. I don't know who their manufacturer is and the owners changed since then, but there definitely are options for something like that out there. I like that idea. We looked into that. That was kind of our original hope here, but our counties won't allow it.
And that was my thing too. If the place gets sold, we're gonna work on it 3 to 4 months to see how it goes, and then during that time frame, I could talk with the city and see what's needed if I wanted to put a shed there.
Yeah.
And down the line, if it doesn't work out, like you said, I can easily have it
pick it up and go.
Move somewhere else.
I love that. All right, man. Sounds good. Liz, what can we do for you?
That was it.
I've got a question about what do you or what other people use for sending out mass texts? We just did really minor stuff. So I had a text list and I was doing individual texts to everybody. And so I'm just curious I want to get something that's automated that I can just send out a mass text to everyone that's individualized. It's not like a big group, but that people are getting a text from me individually.
Yep.
So what kind of programs do you use for that?
Who's your point of sale?
It will probably be Square.
Use Square.
Up till now, we haven't been doing anything. So does Square have something like that you can use to send out texts?
Yeah, so I've done quite a bit of text marketing in other industries and stuff before here. There's other platforms that are good. One I like called Easy Texting. But I like Square. We moved everything to Square this past year. Well, let me say a little better. We've always used Square as our point of sale. But in the middle of last year, we moved our text platform to Square also, because they're already capturing the phone number as it is. Or like when somebody purchases, you can, we'll say, hey, would you like us to text you the receipt? They put in the phone number, they're added to your text list. So your text list is always growing just by people coming to your shop and buying. And you can still say, hey, text, this code to this number and be added to the text list also. So it's easy for you to keep growing the text list. And the other reason why I like them is they only charge you when you actually use it or based on how often you use it. Whereas like Easy Text, for example, you're paying a monthly fee, whether you send out a text or not. With Square, you're only, let's say like in the winter months, you're not sending any, you won't be charged for it. In the summer, you send more, you charge more. So it's kind of on a per use basis. And their delivery rate's been really good. So I'm a big fan and proponent of that.
Okay.
If you don't have Square
do you
set
use
up
them
already,
for email as well?
I do actually. It's funny because again, I've done tons of email marketing with all these other, ClickFunnels, Infusionsoft, all these other platforms, right? But because it's all built in and native, it's so easy to use to build your list and to send it out of there. And I don't need any crazy campaigns. I just basically need to, get the word out from time to time. So we use everything through there. There's extra fees for those, but they're compared to everything else, they're inexpensive. And again, because you're building a list already and it's all together in one spot, it's just easier to send things from there.
Okay. So when you do it, do you send your text and your emails out at the same time? You just kind of do it?
No. Nope.
Or you do individual? I mean, you do some text, sometimes email.
Yeah, I'll set up campaigns ahead of time. So this is a class I should do. I really need to do this. But we'll do this in the membership, like kind of the content for it's included in what I'm doing for the membership. But about once a week, they get an email that's a kind of like a newsletter type format. Here's what's going on. Here's what's happening. Here's a coupon. And that's the other reason why I like text and email through Square is you can send coupons and it's already tied to your POS. And so it's very easy for people to use. So about once a week, I'll do that. Usually on a Monday or a Friday, kind of depending what's going on. Sometimes I'll send another email during the week if it's a busier week or something's happening. Text campaign, I pick and choose my times very carefully when I do that. And I make sure that because you can only do it once, maybe twice a week. You can't get away with it much more than that. And other times you should only do it 2 or 3 times a month because you don't want to be blowing people up with text messages all the time. But I'll send it out. That's the only way I know that within 10 minutes to get people to my shop is by sending a text message out. So we'll send out a very specific offer or something going on that day or something very time sensitive. We'll send that text message out versus a, hey, more general thing. It's, we're offering this. Here's a coupon if you want to come do it. Do something like that. Does that help?
Okay. Yeah. When it's coming, what is it coming? Does it come from like what? I guess what number does it come from? Is it like a number or is it one of those kind of like just text code? Sometimes you get those text code things.
See if I can find it real quick. It'll say it's a number. I can't see it real fast, but it
like, can they text you back?
Yeah, they can.
Can you receive text back from that? Okay.
Kind of. It's not good for like individual one-on-one. If they opt out, you get that. It automatically opts them out for it. If they respond to it, it gets sent to you as an email. If I remember right, you don't necessarily see it on your phone. But the first word of every text they say, it'll say in brackets, like whatever you set up your business. So for all mine, it says Snowmo's in brackets, and then whatever our message is, so they see that.
Okay.
But honestly, guys, if you're not doing text marketing, you are missing out on a ton. That is, every text message we send is worth at least $150 to us. Usually a lot more than that.
Do you have an idea of how much it costs when you do, like you said, it's not very much, how much they charge you to send those out?
I want to say it's based on how many you send per month. I want to say their lower level is like $25 a month, and it's a couple thousand or about 1,000 to 1,500 or so text messages would be my guess. It's something like that. Their rates were competitive compared to other platforms. And that's another reason why I looked at it, because I'm not gaining anything. In fact, I'm making myself more of a headache if I have a separate platform versus keeping it all inside a Square where I'm inside there all day as it is.
Okay.
I like it. If you want to get started with Square, I have a link. It's my affiliate link. So you would get $1,000 of free processing up front, and I would get the same thing as well. So if you want to go through that, you can do it. No pressure if you don't, though.
Okay. I've signed up before, but I saw that after I signed up and I was like, what? But then I was thinking of, I don't have any of my business stuff set up anyway. So I was thinking of just re-signing up as a business.
Yeah.
And then maybe being able to take advantage of that. So.
Yep. DM me if you want that. And Andre, yes, I do send BOGOs through text. So the other secret, if you will, I use my text list. I send by far my best stuff to my text list because I want them to be on my text list, because it's the best way I can get people into my shop that day. So if I send out an email with, say, a 10% off or 15% off, my text list will get a 20% instead. Or I'll just send them something very unique or specific because I want them to come to my shop, and they know that too. We advertise that, like, you want our best deals, our best offers, join our text list. So BOGO, if I send an email or maybe do like a promo online and say, hey, buy one, get one half off, that'd be the BOGO. But then I would send out a text message to say, but if you're on the text list and you show us this, you get buy one, get the second one for free. So it's a much better offer than what everybody else is getting. Or we'll do games sometimes, like, hey, the first 5 people who come get 5 free shaved ice right now. And we'll get people come right away. And yeah, that costs me a little bit in the moment, but then they know that I'm training them. Whenever a text message comes from Snowmo's, we better see what it is and we better go, because it might be something really good. Or we'll give out freebies. Like when we get people to join our text list, say, hey, you want a free sticker? In fact, we have a sign hanging up in our shop. There's a QR code. They scan the QR code, takes them on their phone to the screen to opt in on our text message campaign. They opt in that way, and we right away give them a free sticker. So you can do stuff like that to get people to join the list too. And Susie, I see your question about Square. I don't have a source in Square. I have a program that came with the business. I've used it a bunch. I have some expertise on it. I know they have a ton of good training videos online. So I would start there, start with YouTube or start with Square's help to see if you can find some things in there. And if you can't, if something specific, you can ask. And Brian, you have your hand raised.
I've heard about this on like Instagram, you can like search, like, let's say your location. So let's say you're in a parking lot, like a gas station, and you can see if anyone's posted there recently and how recent it is. And have you like done anything with like personal offers for those people that have been in the area with like a lot of followers and things like that?
Yeah, so two ways we do that. One, we have not too far from us a running trail. And so we'll look at that almost every day. And then we'll send a direct message to anybody who's posted there that day, say, man, you look exhausted. Come on over. We'll give you free shaved ice. So we do individual DMs that way. And I don't care how big their following is. I want them to see, hey, we saw you and come check us out, because I know if they come check us out once, they're going to come back again.
Yeah.
So that's one way we do it. The other thing we do is we invite any influencer I can find in our area that has any food influencer, actually past food, I shouldn't say that. We've done food and like mommy blogger and type influencers in the area. We'll invite them out. We'll send them a DM, say, hey, you want to come do a free photo shoot? We'll give you and your family, free shaved ice. If you like it, you can post about it. They always do. But we invite them through DM and we get a good amount of people that way. We'll start doing that again here because it's spring, and that always is a good way to get free publicity.
Cool. Thanks.
Yep. There's lots of, tricks is the right word. Lots of little things like that you could be doing with Instagram. Honestly, one of the most effective uses of Instagram isn't just posting. It's using direct messages or using geolocation or using something to get, hand to hand in front of somebody versus just to the masses. So anything else, guys? You guys are troopers. We've been on for over 2 hours and we're still going. Look at you guys. Anything else you want to talk about?
I guess I could ask another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anything when it comes to like the cups or spoons or flower cups, things like that that you've used that helped bring business in, or just seems to make people happy, or something like that would be different than just having like a paper cup and a white plastic spoon?
Sure. I think it can help, but I don't think it's necessarily you have to. What I mean by that is I'll see some people use like branded cups and they look great and they look excellent on pictures, and that will certainly help. That definitely will help you. But then I see plenty of businesses that just use something more basic, and you still have a great business that way too. Something that can be more fun, like color changing cup or color changing spoon. You might attract more kids or give them for free. There's one shop that I'm friends with in Oklahoma. They'll do like a souvenir cup. You buy a souvenir cup. They can't do refill anymore. They don't do that because of COVID, but you can buy a souvenir cup that's color changing, and they get people for stuff like that. So little gimmicks. I don't mean that negatively, but little gimmicks like that certainly can help. It can enhance, but it doesn't necessarily you have to, if that makes sense. The other thing that more of us need to start looking at is eco-friendly cups. I've seen more and more local governments are going to start pushing out styrofoam. And I think more consumers are getting a bit more conscious. So eco-friendly, the paper cups or that, like the brownish material, I don't remember what it's called, the cups like that. It's funny, I was sitting one day, we're interviewing this girl to come work for us. And she's telling me about her career, what she wants to do. She's a young girl, she's about to go to college. And she's like, the environment is so important to me. I want to make sure that whatever I'm at, I'm eco-friendly and I'm conscious. And as I'm sitting there, I'm looking at our garbage bag that needs to be taken out, full of styrofoam cups and plastic spoons. I'm like, this is what we got here. And then she came and worked for us for a long time and was a great employee. So it was funny.
Hey, Scott, what are you thinking of starting this program that you have in mind for the social media and everything?
Sure. I just, right before this was on the phone to our developer, it'll be launched either the very end of February or the 1st of March. So, but if you have suggestions, you want some beta testers along the way, please get in touch with me. I'm going to be very active on this over the next little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna,
What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're going to break it into sections or not, but like for those of us that aren't new to the business, some of us aren't interested in like that stuff. I'm just mostly interested in that social media end of it.
Yeah. So this platform will be, it's built for anyone, regardless of of ability level or how long they've been in the business, is what I'm trying to say. Because it's like, hey, here's marketing resources, go use it. And there's so much in there. If you want the basics, you can do it. If not, there's plenty for, if you've been in business for 25 years and need help with your marketing, there's plenty for that. I have our Shaved Ice Academy program. That's definitely more for, hey, how do I get started? You know, I'm about to start the business. I'm not quite sure. I'd say if you've been in for less than 3 years, I bring a lot of students through that, and that, because that's the A to Z of like, here's how I get started. So like, where is my, what shaver should I get? Where do I buy supplies? Here's the supply list you need. Here's how to shave ice, all the basics and stuff like that. So those are 2 different programs that we offer in there, but the membership will be for your veterans like you, Rose, who've done this, who know how to run a business. This is just to help you run your business more easily.
Yeah, that's what I need. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Then Beam, I saw that you have a startup offering natural flavored edible straws and spoons. Hey, if you want, post that in the Facebook group, because I'm something like that I think people would like, but feel free to post that if it's something that you want to get some more customers on. I'm cool with that. And then Brian, looks like you took off or you enjoyed it. So, all right, guys, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up here today? Losing my voice. I got my mom's birthday today. I have to make sure I can sing happy birthday. Andre, a couple of you guys are interested in being beta testers, so very cool. I will keep that in mind as we get things going. And then Pam, how can access recording? Likely, yes. Let me, we are recording this, so let me figure out a spot where I can host it so I don't send you a big fat file. And I'd be happy to get that out to you. If anyone wants a recording of this, guys, please send me a DM. Or actually, you know what? I'll probably send it to everyone who's here, because I should be able to get a report on that. And like I said, this is for all of us. This isn't just this is something for all of us to learn and to grow and to connect with one another. So I'll be happy to do that. So Pam, you missed you came for if you missed the first half, you came for the second half, which is the better half. So you're all right, girl. All right, guys. Then thank you all for spending time with us today. I appreciate this. We're going to get going. We will be in touch. Good luck with everyone as you get your businesses going again for the spring and for the season. And like I've always say, I'm here for you. If I can help you, let me know. So have a good one. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Sometimes I would love to have a video tour of your shaved ice business whenever you may.
Yeah, we'll do that. That'd be fun.
Thank you.
All right, guys.